Ahead on Eyewitness News at 6, an exclusive George Knapp investigation into how much you pay for power.
A convicted killer asked for death but got life instead. We'll have a live report from the county courthouse.
The FBI wants your help in tracking down suspected child molesters. I'll tell you how you can help coming up in a live report.
You're watching the News Leader, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
We start tonight with an update on breaking news. Police in North Las Vegas are in a standoff. They say at least one person is holed up in a house refusing to come out. Victor Woodall is in Chopper 8 live with the story.
That's right. Police were called to this area up in North Las Vegas just about 20 minutes ago after family members called police and reported that a male suspect was inside the home and threatening himself with a gun. Police responded up here near Ann Road and Camino El Dorado up in North Las Vegas. At this point, they only have the road shut down in the housing division that the house resides in and also the street just to the backyard side of the housing development. We're not seeing a lot of backup at this point, but that is the very latest. For now, from Chopper 8, Victor Woodall, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Nevada Power Company is going to court to find out if a state agency conspired to rig local electricity prices to hurt the company.
The agency in question is the Colorado River Commission, which buys and sells large amounts of power. Nevada Power wants access to the files of the CRC, but the agency is saying no.
George Knapp of the I-Team broke the story at 5. He's here now with much more. George.
Gary and Paula, this is potentially one of the most explosive stories of the year. Nevada Power isn't talking today, but the motion it filed is the first shot in what could be a bloody battle. It's complicated, so stay with me. The power company thinks the Colorado River Commission purposely tried to sabotage its financial position and that it did so in partnership with none other than Enron. Every day for the past several months, teams of lawyers hired by Nevada Power have trudged into the offices of the Colorado River Commission to go through the CRC's files. Nevada Power wants to know everything about the River Commission's wheelings and dealings in the electricity market because the power company suspects the CRC purposely tried to sabotage Nevada Power's financial position and that it did so in partnership with the infamous Enron Corporation. 3 years ago, Enron helped to precipitate an energy crisis in the West, one that cost customers billions of dollars, led to rolling blackouts, and gouged the economies of California and Nevada. A 13-month investigation by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, found that Enron couldn't have done this without willing partners. One of those partners, FERC said, was the CRC. A show cause order filed by FERC against CRC last year is still unresolved. But other parties who did the same thing have been ordered to repay some $26 million to FERC for what was known as gaming strategies.
Companies like Enron that engaged in questionable trading strategies. You may recall when the Commission 2 or 3 years ago released the Enron memos describing these trading strategies with colorful names like Fat Boy and Get Shorty and Ricochet.
Nevada Power suspects that the CRC used those same strategies. The court motion filed by the company seeks to force the CRC to make public its files about its transactions. Amazingly, Nevada Power already knows what's in the files. The company was given the files by FERC, but under a rule of confidentiality. It wants the rule lifted so it can tell the rest of us what's in the files. Even more intriguing is that many, even most of the transactions are recorded on tape. Knowledgeable sources say some of the taped conversations spell out the motives behind some CRC power deals, and they may also show what other entities were involved. Nevada Power doesn't believe it's a coincidence that while the Enron debacle was unfolding, the CRC's sister agency, the Southern Nevada Water Authority, was spearheading an attempted public takeover of the power company. For that reason, Nevada Power has filed court papers seeking records from the Water Authority as well. So far, the River Commission has denied requests for its records, even though it's a public agency and even though Nevada Power already has most of the records in question. Still hanging over the head of the CRC is its battle with FERC over its friendly dealings with Enron and others.
2 orders issued by the Commission directing a number of electricity providers, among them the Colorado Commission, to show cause why the Commission should not direct them to give up profits that may have been earned through allegedly manipulation of the market.
Since the court motion Filed late today. We will have to wait until tomorrow to get comments from Nevada Power and CRC about these issues. In the past, CRC has said that it did nothing wrong in its dealings with Enron, but it does admit it did sell excess power to Enron at times. CRC has also accused Nevada Power of conducting a, quote, fishing expedition. The commission has spent $150,000 on a private law firm to represent it in these matters. If Nevada Power can prove even part of what it suspects, this is going to be a huge story for a long time.
On what grounds is the CRC keeping these files private?
It's mentioned a couple of things. In its letters, it's said that the request is too broad, it's too burdensome, it's unfair, even though, as I said, Nevada Power already has most of these files in its possession, just doesn't have permission to use them. Nevada Power says none of these are a reason to withhold public information about a public agency. Basically, Nevada's public records law says that all files are public unless there's a darn good reason for keeping them confidential. We'll keep you posted on this.
Thanks, George.
In a related story, Nevada Power signed a deal today to make sure Southern Nevada has enough power through the scorching summer to come. The deal between Nevada Power and a Las Vegas power plant was approved by the Public Utilities Commission.
Las Vegas lawmaker says he would rather quit his job than leave the Nevada legislature. State Senator Ray Rawson quit his job with the community college system today because of a conflict of interest ruling issued by the state attorney general. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Brian Allen has the story.
20 years ago, Ray Rawson ran for the legislature. The Attorney General said it was okay for state employees to hold elected office. Now another Attorney General, Brian Sandoval, says it's not okay.
It's not easy to walk away from the university system.
Today, Rawson, a state senator, resigned his position as head of dentistry at the Community College of Southern Nevada.
I think it's a sad day that he made a decision that will take him out of the classroom.
CCSN spokesperson Chris Giunkiliani is a member of the Nevada Assembly. She too is a state employee, but won't leave either job until a court issues a ruling, something Sandoval is seeking.
Based on that, when it's crystal clear, I will choose public service and running for re-election as my main goal.
Waiting for a court ruling wasn't an option for Rawson.
Not for me. You know, I respect the Attorney General. I think he's bright. I think he's studied the issue.
But Senator Rawson may have found the silver lining in this political cloud. He says leaving CCSN will give him more time to focus on a tough re-election battle.
I'm not running as much against Ray as I am running for my fellow citizens in Senate District 6. It's not about me or Ray, it's about them.
Assemblyman Bob Beers is challenging Rawson in the September primary, chiding his support of last year's $800 million tax increase. Beers is campaigning door to door. Rawson says he's hitting the trail too.
I will work right up to the last hours, but I'm confident that I will be back in Carson City.
Brian Allen, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Rawson says he will teach his CCSN dentistry classes for the rest of the school year as a volunteer.
A jury decided to give Anthony Prentice life in prison without the possibility of parole, even though the victim himself asked for execution. The victim's family feels the punishment is fair, despite the horrific killing of their loved one. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Cindy Caesar is at the courthouse with the story.
Well, even though Anthony Prentice did not receive the death penalty, Paula, nearly everyone involved in this case felt that this ruling was fair.
Dan might even be forgiving. That was Dan. You know, that's the kind of guy he is.
Despite the fact that her brother was stabbed to death 128 times, Nancy Cornwall believes a punishment of life in prison is just for Anthony Prentice. Prentice was convicted of the first-degree murder of his mentor, 58-year-old Dan Miller. The prosecution believes it was Prentice's friend, 22-year-old James Harrison, also known as Evil, who stabbed Miller at Prentice's request.
In my opinion, it's really tough for a jury to impose a death sentence on a person who doesn't actually pull the trigger, plunge the knife into the body, put his hands around the victim's throat. That's the person they want.
The jury was actually conflicted with sentencing Prentice to death and compromised with the life in prison verdict.
I want the death penalty.
The jury also said that they were not influenced by Prentice's request to die during his Tuesday sentencing.
The fact that he asked for that death penalty, it was kind of surprising to me that he jumped up and asked for the death penalty. But no, it didn't, because we don't know if he was playing mind games. If he said he wanted the death penalty, he really didn't, or if he really did. We did not take that into factor at all.
The jury foreman also said that the jury only ruled on the evidence in this case, and the fact that Anthony Prentice was a white supremacist had nothing to do with their guilty verdict. Reporting live from the Clark County Courthouse, Cindy Caesar, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Now, James Harrison, also known as Evil, will be tried for Miller's murder. His trial is set for June 1st. A woman believed to be connected with a front door murder went to court today. Akia Lee is facing charges of burglary, obtaining or possessing a credit card without the cardholder's consent, and fraudulent use of a credit card. She'll be back in court on the 18th for a preliminary hearing. Police say surveillance video shows Lee trying to use the ATM card of a Las Vegas man who'd been murdered just a few hours before. Don Ursom was shot and killed after answering his front door the night of February 5th.
Also in court today, a Henderson man who pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of his baby girl. Well, today, Devon Tisdale changed his plea and instead entered a plea of not guilty. In October of 2002, police found the body of Tisdale's youngest child dead in the home he shared with the child's mother, Sophia Mendoza, and 4 other children. Authorities say the baby died of malnutrition and dehydration. The FBI has launched a new effort to find child molesters. An agency investigation of kiddie porn turned up hundreds of pictures of adults having sex with children. Well, now pictures of those adults are being made public with the hope that someone will recognize them and turn them in. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Luann Sorrell is in the newsroom with the story. Luann.
Gary, computers are now one of the most popular ways for pedophiles to prey on children. But now the FBI is turning the tables and using the internet to put pedophiles behind bars.
The internet is the preferred method for distributing child pornography.
But often that preferred method becomes a pedophile's downfall. Harold Shaw is now behind bars in Las Vegas. FBI agents say Shaw used his credit card to buy child pornography online. After searching his home, investigators say they also found a videotape of Shaw molesting an 11-year-old girl. The FBI arrested Larry Jeffs in California after tracing online pictures that apparently showed Jeffs molesting a 2-month-old girl. Agents say they also found videotape proof of the act in Jeffs' home. But putting pedophiles behind bars is not always so easy. Metro Sergeant Russell Shoemaker works alongside the FBI to stop internet crimes against children.
It's not uncommon for us to seize large amounts of pornography that depict very, very young children. It is difficult to identify the child. It's extraordinarily difficult to identify the males who are normally pictured in there.
The FBI is now asking for your help to put names to these faces. As part of Innocent Images, the FBI is posting pictures of unknown pedophiles online. The FBI has also teamed up with the TV show America's Most Wanted to bring these photos into living rooms around the world. The hope is that while pedophiles prefer to lurk in the darkness, showing their faces will bring their atrocities to light. Now, 2 men have already been arrested after their pictures were aired on America's Most Wanted. Now the FBI is focused on this man, and if you'd like to take a closer look to see if you know who this is, you can just log on to our website at KLASTV.com. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Luann Sorrell, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Las Vegas man was indicted today for receipt and possession of child pornography. Department of Justice tells Eyewitness News that 47-year-old Mark Pfaffensparger is charged with 2 felonies. If convicted, he could get 5 to 20 years in prison. Federal judge says the Nevada Supreme Court didn't violate federal law when it decided not to free Jessica Williams. Williams attorney John Watkins had argued that Williams was subjected to double jeopardy because of the way the jury ruled in the case. The state Supreme Court denied that claim. Williams was convicted in a crash that killed 6 Las Vegas teenagers back in March of 2000.
The driver who ran into and killed a landscape worker was given a speeding ticket today in connection with the deadly crash. Police say Donna Rohr was speeding on Buffalo near Smoke Ranch when she lost control of her car and hit 2 men in a landscaping crew working on the side of the road. One of the men, 24-year-old Carlos Rodriguez, was dragged to his death. The district attorney says further charges are not likely because the worker was in the roadway. Roadside memorials often pop up on highways and streets when someone has been killed in a crash. Now, efforts are underway to develop a statewide policy about what can and cannot be allowed in these memorials. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Anchor Colleen May joins us with the story. Colleen.
Well, Paula, really there's nothing more tragic than losing a loved one in an accident on our roadways. And oftentimes memorials and flowers are set up and it helps loved ones keep memories alive. But safety officials worry that these type of memorials may create hazards, such as running across the street here to add more flowers to this one or out. And officials worry that these type of memorials may cause even more tragedies. It's hard to forget the 6 teenagers who lost their lives on I-15 when Jessica Williams ran into them on the side of the road 4 years ago. But instead of crosses and flowers to remember the teens and others who are killed on our roadways, the Nevada Department of Transportation is looking at developing a uniform statewide policy for roadside memorials.
When you ask people to put memorials on the sides of roads, it becomes a safety issue.
The issue of roadside memorials was brought to the forefront with the murder of 9-year-old Crystal Stedman 4 years ago. Her body was found on the side of US 50 west of Carson City. This cross was put up in her memory and later taken down when a Reno man threatened to sue over the separation of church and state.
Some people take offense when they see a cross. Okay, and this is something that will be voiced at some of the meetings that we have, and we'll take that into consideration.
NDOT is looking for suitable ways to remember loved ones without distracting or offending others.
We're talking about possibly putting up colored markers, a red marker on the road to designate that this person died due to a DUI, a yellow one for a sleepy driver. I mean, these are ideas.
Ideas are still being gathered. Safety officials say they hope to find a balance between remembering those who lost their lives while keeping our roadways safe. Now, this memorial you see here would not fall under the Nevada Department of Transportation's jurisdiction because it's in the city, but I spoke to safety officials with the city, Clark County, and Henderson, and they all say they don't have a specific or an official ordinance, but they're anxiously waiting to see what NDOT plans to do this year, and they say they may plan to adopt a similar ordinance of their own. NDOT, by the way, hopes to have their plan implemented by the end of this year. Reporting live near Eastern and Sahara, I'm Colleen May, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
A public hearing on roadside memorials will be held March 31st in Las Vegas from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Paradise Community Center. The public is invited to attend.
Jackknife semi-trailer truck caused a massive backup on US 95 this afternoon. The accident happened in the northbound lanes of the freeway near the eastern exit. You can see the backup from that accident that we shot earlier this afternoon. Truck was in the accident was in the clearing stages at 5 o'clock, and traffic on both sides of the freeway is now said to be back up to speed.
Small scooters are a quick way to get around town, but did you know that type of transportation is actually illegal? Tonight, what the city of Las Vegas is doing to stop scooter use.
God, where is he? I miss him so much.
And later in this hour, a cheerful welcome home for a group of men and women serving in Iraq. Coming up, what these Las Vegans told us about their experience.
I'm Kevin Janison of the Channel 8 Weather Office, and when you see the 7-day forecast, you too are going to say, oh, baby. We'll take a look at those numbers and have all your neighborhood weather just around the corner. But as we head to break, here are the real-time conditions near Valley View and Charleston. We'll be right back.
You're watching the News Leader, Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6 with Paula Francis, Gary Waddell, neighborhood weather with Kevin Janison, and sports with Dave McCann. Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the News Leader. Neighborhood weather on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Sunburst Shutters.
Got a vehicle you need to get rid of? How would you like to be spared that nasty ordeal of getting rid of it? Just call Volunteers of America and we'll pick up that old vehicle for you. Plus get a tax deduction and help those in need. Call Volunteers of America at 450-2000.
Hi, Debbie from Sprint. If you think upgrading to high-speed internet is expensive, think again. It says here you're the most skeptical family in the world.
Well, don't believe everything you read.
What's our motto, kids?
There's no such thing as a good deal.
Well, with Sprint Solutions, you can add high-speed internet for $34.99 a month.
Get Sprint DSL for $34.99 a month with a qualifying Sprint Solutions package.
Wow, this is a good deal, Debbie.
If that's your real name.
Call me. One Sprint, many solutions.
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. Oh, 'cause I
The donation of your old vehicle can help provide safe, low-income housing for Nevada's senior citizens, support services for children in crisis, and affordable housing for children and their families. You'll get a tax deduction to the maximum extent of the law. Call Volunteers of America at 450-2000. For high-impact advertising, it's Model Letitia's mobile billboards of Las Vegas. You're seen wherever we go.
It's time for March of Stars.
Wow!
Next, Ellen, Deborah Messing, and the music of Burt Bacharach and Ron Isley. Ellen.
Tomorrow at 3 on Channel 8.
Dramatic, hypnotic, climactic. The clock is ticking. Don't miss the new season of The Sopranos, only on HBO.
See it on Cox Digital Cable. For a limited time, receive 2 free months of digital cable with HBO and Cinemax. Plus, receive a $10 installation special. That's a savings of over $75. Don't delay. Get your 2 free months of Cox Digital Cable with HBO and Cinemax today. Call 967-3586 to order.
Save thousands during Fairway Chevrolet Spectacular. Red, white, and blue tag event. Save up to 15% off on all red tags, up to 20% off on all white tags, and up to 25% off on all blue tags. Buy a new Chevy Aveo for just $78.21, or a new full-size Silverado for as low as $13,138. Remember, save up to 15% off on all red tags, up to 20% off on all white tags, and up to 25% off on all blue tags. Call 1-888-230-5000. Fairway Chevrolet, 3100 East Sahara, the low-price powerhouse.
For high-impact advertising, it's Model Letitia's mobile billboards of Las Vegas. You're seen wherever we go.
You won't be seeing any new billboards in southern Nevada for at least the next 3 months. County Commission approved a temporary ban on all new billboard applications today. County is looking at permanently banning new billboards despite the controversy about the images you see on some of the boards. The dispute is really about the number of signs, not what's on them. A number of billboard companies are suing the county to try to get today's decision overturned.
Well, it's the number of motorized scooters on the streets that prompted the Las Vegas City Council to take action today. They'll launch a public awareness blitz about the dangers of the scooters. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Edward Lawrence has our story.
Bob Barkoff swears by his scooter. He got into the motorized transportation about 5 years ago. Barkoff not only owns and uses them, he also sells motorized scooters.
They're great fun. They're, transportation. They're enjoyable.
The talk at the Las Vegas City Council meeting this morning scares him. City Council members passed a resolution to reiterate that scooters are illegal everywhere except private property.
Yes, we are concerned about the safety and welfare of all riders.
Councilman Michael Mack invited officers from the Metro Police Traffic Division to talk about motorized scooters. Officer Julie Artow told the council that state law requires motorized vehicles to have insurance, registration, brake lights, and headlights. Scooters don't, making them illegal on streets and sidewalks across the state.
None of this equipment is provided there. They're also required to have a licensed driver aboard, and doesn't meet that criteria either.
If you ride your bike responsibly, wear your safety equipment. It's as safe as you make it.
When Barkoff sells a scooter, the buyer signs a note warning that the scooters don't meet federal safety standards for streets, roads, or highways.
What really bothers Barkoff are the unreputable street vendors who sell the scooters. He says they don't teach parents how and where to safely operate the device.
I'm concerned of the guy that's here today, gone tomorrow. His whole goal is just to sell a scooter and disappear.
That's where Barkoff agrees with the council and Metro Police. Consumers need to be educated, but insists the scooters should not be banned. Edward Lawrence, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Bob Barkoff wants to work with the County Parks and Recreation Department to open a scooter park to give kids a place to ride.
Tell you, the weather is changing quickly. Kevin Janison is here to tell us about it, and it's good news this time. Kevin.
It's changing for the better, absolutely, Gary, but we thought a few people may have missed the rain today, so we're taking you out to St. Louis. Lots of good rain showers in the Plain States across into the Ohio Valley. In fact, the rain pretty much socked Missouri, eastern parts of Missouri, in with a thick cloud cover and the rain showers there. Farther north, it was snow. Here are pictures from Wausau, Wisconsin. Late in the day, light snow moving on in, and it's still cold It's still winter, even though it's the beginning of March, and feels much better here at home. Real-time weather will begin at Valley View in Charleston, 53 degrees and calm, 42% humidity. Up in North Las Vegas near ML King and Cary, there at 60. Charleston and Sloan on the east side of town comes in at an even 60 degrees. And down in Searchlight, it's 50 with 11-mile-per-hour breeze, and they still have a little lingering humidity the farther south you go. Wind today, not too much of a factor in the southeastern part of the valley, although Sahara and Nellis had a gust to 27. But many neighborhoods up in the northwest had gusts to at least 30, if not stronger than 30 miles per hour. We showed you the gust in Searchlight to 43. Laughlin and Prim had gusts over 30 miles per hour. Meanwhile, high temperatures pretty comfortable today, flirting with 70 in North Las Vegas, 65 over the south end of town, 62 near DI and the Beltway. Outside the mountain peaked at 44. Pahrump hit 64, while Boulder City had a high of 63. At McCarran, the top temperature was 62, 4 degrees below normal. 45 was the morning low. Well, I'll tell you, that rain has kept the air quality cleansed and sparkling. Days are getting longer, too. The sun went down at 5:39. Here are those showers and thunderstorms moving from the plains into the Ohio Valley. Snow in Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, even northern parts of lower Michigan. There is another system sliding down. By the way, this is the one we had yesterday. It's now pushing into Arizona and New Mexico. This system is producing very light precipitation in parts of California and Nevada. We don't think enough of that moisture will make it down here into our part of the state, but we will get the high clouds for the next several hours, dissipating by midday tomorrow. And then we've got one system after another. This one slides through, then we got 1, 2, 3 out here. But instead of taking a direct hit at us, like the last few have, these are going to go farther to the north, and we're just going to get their tails with some high clouds here and there over the next few days. Overnight tonight down to 45 for low temperature with a few high clouds and a light westerly breeze. Tomorrow we'll have the high clouds in the morning, but plenty of afternoon sunshine. Look for a high of 66 again, some neighborhoods up and into the 70s. Mount Charleston, if you're going to play in the snow, looks for a high of 38 after a morning low of 17. And a look ahead at your 7-day forecast. We are looking for the temperatures to warm into the 70s as we get to the weekend. Mid-70s next week with lots of sunshine. And you know, some neighborhoods will be up around 80 by the middle of next week. By the way, Nevada Reading Week continues. We're on world record pace to visit as many schools as we can this week. We started earlier today at Fong Elementary. It was pajama day for the first graders. They were looking pretty good. From Fong, we went over to Cape Carl Elementary and hung out with some of the second graders and a random alien in the middle of the group there. From Carl, we ventured over to Rick Watson. Check out this crop of second graders. You know what's good about what I do is I go there, get these kids all wound up, and then just leave. Not bad work if you can find it. I'd like to say hello. Always a great time when we're out at Watson Elementary. From Watson, check out our friends over at Gilbert Magnet School, where we got to read to a small group of third graders who were equally as exuberant. And finally, this was the scene last night at Frias Elementary inside their multi-purpose room. In honor of Reading Week and Dr. Seuss's birthday, they had a slumber party, and it was pandemonium in there. And we got to read, and we had a lot of fun. And what a turnout. I thought that was a phenomenal idea. They got a great group of people to come back to the school at night, kind of lounge around in the pajamas and read some stories and just go nuts. And you don't get to do that at school.
Oh, very cute.
It was a lot of fun. I'd like to thank everybody for having me out during Reading Week.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay.
Family and friends gathered today at Nellis Air Force Base to welcome back men and women who've been serving in Iraq. We'll have the tearful reunions.
And in tonight's Eye on Entertainment, the presidential campaign is almost officially underway. Tonight, how Hollywood stars are getting into politics.
Matthews live at the Callaway Golf Center. Hey, with the Nextel Cup drivers in town, there's bound to be a driver who can drive this little white ball. When we come back, we'll have more on that. Plus, UNLV's starting quarterback is on his way to Canada for some treatment, a serious injury. We'll have more on that. And the Cougars are getting ready to make a pit stop here in Las Vegas, but it's the Rebels who are changing the tires. Sports is coming up next.
It's a Nevada crisis that's tearing families apart.
They stole our parents' cars because we didn't have any respect for them.
An alarming number of juveniles committing serious crimes.
Consequences are not something that they think about.
Should they be sentenced as adults?
We're all responsible for our own actions.
How accountable are their parents?
My parents let me do whatever I wanted.
Explosive questions that have emotions flaring. Gary Waddell investigates failing our children. Tonight at 11 on Channel 8. It's not just news, it's eyewitness news.
First, Station Casinos brought you Jumbo Bingo.
I just won over $250,000.
Then we brought you Jumbo Jackpots.
I hit the biggest jumbo jackpot ever, over $149,000.
And now you can play pennies and get bonus cash.
It's the new Jumbo Penny Boarding Pass Bonus. Big cash bonuses for Penny players at every station casino. Thousands of winners every month. Play the Jumbo Penny video slots at a station near you. Your bonus is waiting.
I got it at Chapman. We just bought a new Jeep Liberty.
Where'd you get it? We got it at Chapman and got the lowest price in town.
My new PT Cruiser is so much fun.
Where'd you get it?
I got it at Chapman with a payment I can afford and cash back.
Get 0% financing plus $27.50 cash back both together at Chapman Chrysler Jeep in the Valley Auto Mall.
I got it at Chapman.
You bet. Nah, not a problem. Agent Smith.
Can you explain this?
Sprint Yellow Pages?
Good picture, Blake.
Nice touch, huh? Phone's been ringing off the hook.
But Blake, you're in the witness protection program.
If you want to be found, advertise in the book more people use. Sprint Yellow Pages, the best red Yellow Pages.
Thanks to Walker's special buys, you can save half off on the furniture you want.
Half off? Nice.
That's right, 50% off. This contemporary sofa with accent pillows was a good deal at $7.99. Buy it right now for just $3.99. You save half off.
What more could you want?
How about free financing for 6 months?
I'm in.
Sure you are, because with half off and free financing, nobody beats Walker.
We guarantee the lowest prices.
All right, and we begin Speed Week here in Las Vegas with some breaking news. UNLV's starting quarterback, Kurt Nankus, is on his way to Canada to receive some treatment for a severe abdominal injury he sustained last season against New Mexico. Now, this injury is similar to the one that linebacker Ryan Claridge suffered, causing him to miss the entire season.
It's like all things. You just, respond and get him well, and it's a great opportunity for the other quarterbacks in our team in spring practice.
Spring ball starts Sunday. Nankus says he'll be forced to sit out the entire spring. He could be healthy by June. Well, in hoops now, UNLV season finale this weekend against BYU. The Cougars are coming to town. Running Rebels are ready. They're gearing up for Saturday's game. It's a chance to build some momentum as they head into next week's conference tournament.
I see it as a momentum game. They got us there. It'd be nice if we can get them back here.
We think we can play with anyone in the league, just the confidence we have in ourselves and each other. So, the BYU game won't change much, but we hope we can get a win there and have a full head of steam heading to the conference tournament.
All right, now from basketball to boxing, the city is gearing up for a whole bunch of big fights over the next 6 months. And last night, the Golden Boy and the Executioner proved that opposites do attract fight fans.
I deliver. I didn't come.
What a contrast. Bernard Hopkins has the mouth, while De La Hoya has the appeal.
People say, oh, you have a little pretty face and this and that. And
both fighters are pointing toward their scheduled September 15th showdown. But first, they must win a prelim in June. Hopkins should have no trouble against Robert Allen.
Forget De La Hoya right now.
68, 75.
The man don't even know, he don't even know how to count now. He don't know that he's first what he's talking about. You're first.
De La Hoya will fight Felix Strum, an unbeaten yet unknown fighter from Germany.
When it comes to challenges, I step up. I can step up. And I've been very fortunate to capture titles.
All this points to De La Hoya trying to make history by winning in 6 different weight classes, while Hopkins steps into the ring for a record 17th title defense. Hey, say what you will.
I mean, these guys are tough.
I deliver. That's what counts here.
If everything goes well, I think I'm ready to make history.
All right, and we shall see. And coming up in 25 minutes, we're going to talk about a Nextel Cup driver who can drive the little white ball. Gary and Follow, back to you.
All right, thanks, Chris.
There's more news straight ahead on Channel 8 Eyewitness News live at 6:30. A joyous homecoming at Nellis Air Force Base today. Channel 8 Eyewitness News was there, and we'll bring it to you.
Plus, now that John Kerry seems destined to be the Democratic nominee, the race for the presidency is underway. We'll have a preview of the battle ahead. And
we're both saving the patient's life because we're curing him of his cancer, and we're giving him the opportunity to create new life in the future.
In tonight's Medical Breakthroughs report, a new way to stop testicular cancer while saving the man's fertility.
You're watching the News Leader, Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6:30 with Paula Francis, Gary Waddell, neighborhood weather with Kevin Janison, and sports with Dave McCann. Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the News Leader.
Plans are underway for the U.S. military to increase security in Iraq. The U.S. civilian administrator in Iraq and the top coalition commander both say they will double the number of troops patrolling the border.
This comes after yesterday's suicide attacks that killed more than 100 Shiite Muslims.
Make no mistake, we will continue our offensive operations to kill or capture those responsible for these atrocities. We will work alongside our Iraqi partners every day until this mission is complete.
As many as 15 people have been detained in connection with the deadly bombings. Iraq's governing council says the attacks are the work of the al-Qaeda terrorist network. Many people in Iraq blame the U.S. Some say they had never heard of terrorism until the Americans arrived.
Thanks for staying with us. A lot of tears and hugs at Nellis Air Force Base this afternoon. After serving 5 months in Iraq, the 820th Red Horse Squadron is finally home. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Adrian Arambulo has one family story.
For families who had loved ones in the Red Horse Squadron, the past 5 months have seemed like an eternity.
When you talk to them on the phone, you only get 15 minutes, and then it's like you got to hang up now, and there's so much you have to say.
And the several minutes it took for the 90 members of Red Horse to hit the ground and make their way to their loved ones seemed to take just as long.
He's making this harder on me.
Jennifer Kelly and her children have been planning for this moment for a while, but
it's a lot more emotional than I thought. I never really think I was going to be this excited.
And when Jennifer, who is pregnant, finally saw her husband Aaron,
God, I missed you. I missed you. At first you kind of think, am I going to recognize him after so long?
Aaron Mills and his squadron spent the last 5 months in Iraq, building whatever they were ordered to build, be it roads or military facilities. In typical stoic fashion, he tells us,
a lot of work.
And the 20-hour plane ride home?
It was long, real long, miserable.
The plans for the next couple of days include a lot of catching up.
Tonight he's going to go home and rest, and then tomorrow we're going to go out to dinner with the family.
And when you're in a military family, you need to cherish every moment, because it's always just a matter of time.
They were talking about in June sending him back out. That's when our baby's due, and we're hoping he doesn't have to go. Okay.
Adrian Arambulo, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Officials at Nellis say there is a chance that the Red Horse Squadron could be called back to Iraq within the next 18 months. No one in the squadron was injured in combat during this last mission.
President Bush's campaign unveiled its first TV spots for the upcoming election. Here's a preview.
I know what we need to do to make the world more free and more peaceful. I know what we need to do to make sure every person has a chance at realizing the American dream. I know what we need to do.
4 ads, including one in Spanish, will start airing tomorrow in 17 states. The president's re-election ads portray him as a strong leader who can handle tough issues such as national security and economic challenges.
The strategy's always been that as soon as the dust settled on the Democratic contest, we would go out and advertise to promote the president and to show the differences between the parties.
More ads are in the works. The election is still 8 months away.
Today was the end of the line for one presidential candidate. North Carolina Senator John Edwards dropped out of the race today, but some think Edwards still has his eye on national office, possibly as vice president. And his advisors are making it clear the senator would accept a number 2 spot on the ticket. Edwards traveled home to North Carolina to throw in the towel.
The presidency of the United States. John Kerry has what it takes right here to be president of the United States.
John Kerry won 9 of 10 races yesterday. Edwards only won 1 race in all his months of campaigning. A recent CBS poll shows a Kerry-Edwards ticket, though, could beat President Bush in November. We want to go back now to the breaking news we told you about earlier. North Las Vegas police are on the scene of a standoff near Tropical and Reserve. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Adrian Arambulo is on the scene with the latest. Adrian.
That's right. The standoff situation is developing in North Las Vegas. The residents in question on White Hollow. White Hollow is located near Tropical and Revere. Now, what we understand is that a man is inside a house with a gun on White Hollow, and that this man's family called authorities to let them know that the man is threatening to kill himself. Joining us now is Officer Tim Bedwell, who's with North Las Vegas Police. Can you tell us what time did you get the call and what type of call did you receive?
We got the call about 4:20 this afternoon, and it was a report that there was a despondent man in his home armed with a handgun, and he was threatening to commit suicide to a family member.
Can you tell us what's the next step? What are you guys doing right now?
Well, right now what we've done is we've established a perimeter to make sure the neighborhood is safe, and we've relocated a couple families that are real close to the house. We're still trying to establish contact with the subject.
Okay. Can you talk to us about the process? How do you guys try to go about making contact with this guy who's barricaded himself?
Obviously, the first thing is to try to call into the home. He's not responding that way, and so we've got other family members that we've contacted, and we're going through them to try to get other numbers, cell phone numbers and that kind of thing, to try to get contact with him.
Is this an unusual situation in this neighborhood?
Yes, this is always an unusual situation. You don't have these types of things that often.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Appreciate it. But again, a standoff situation developing here in North Las Vegas. The residence in question is on White Hollow. It involves a man who has barricaded himself inside his home with a gun. We'll have more details as they become available. Reporting live, Adrian Rabulo, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
A new organization working to stop cancer launched a new initiative today. The group called Sea Change wants to prevent 1 million cases of cancer and 500,000 deaths by the year 2010. Sea Change hopes to coordinate public and private efforts in the battle against cancer. For young men, the biggest cancer risk is testicular cancer. Treatment often leaves the man infertile. In tonight's Medical Breakthroughs, we see a new treatment with less dramatic consequences. For 24 years, urologist Mark Goldstein has encountered his share of suspicious testicular masses, all requiring the same treatment.
We didn't know if they were benign or malignant until after the testicle was removed. Now we know that at least a quarter of the tumors that we're removing are benign.
To avoid doing the severe procedure unnecessarily, Dr. Goldstein combines two common surgical methods.
Why can't we use needles to find these tiny tumors that we're picking up now on ultrasound, and then use a microscope to be able to find them and remove them, and thereby not have to remove the testicle, just remove the tumor?
Dr. Goldstein says it makes a big difference for men who want to have children.
We're both saving the patient's life because we're curing him of his cancer, and we're giving him the opportunity to create new life in the future.
John Craig is one of those who benefited. His tumor was benign, but he was still worried about his fertility.
In terms of sperm count and the possibility that I would have lost a lot of it by losing testicle, and it was very important.
John opted for the new surgery. He now has no complications. He also has Jack.
Thankfully, he looks like his mother, and he's a real joy, blessing. I'm happy to have him.
Okay. For more information, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. Write testicular cancer on the front, and you can find more information directly from our website.
So Hollywood's most recognizable faces are working together to spread the message about the importance of voting. Kate Maddox will have that story in tonight's Eye on Entertainment.
And it was a beautiful day outside. As we take a look from one of our sky cams, are these blue skies here to stay? Kevin Janison will have the answer coming up in weather.
Entire families have been caught having a delicious meal out. Busted. Gamers caught taking advantage of Reno betting lines inside their favorite sports book. Busted. Including one player who took home $165,000 on a single bet. Players caught winning millions on our new machines like Megabucks and Cash for Life. Busted. And everyone caught enjoying the best bar in town with 120 beers from all over the world. Thirst Busters on Sunset at Valverde.
Desert does it again. Las Vegas, buckle up for the price of your life. Who you gonna call?
Call Desert!
It's Desert Nissan's race for the record. Now through Monday, get brand new 2004 Nissan Altima, the best-selling car in America, for just $169 a month. Choose yours from our large selection.
Who you gonna call? Call Desert!
It's Desert Nissan's race for the record. Race to Desert Nissan and save.
The hides are tanned and perfected by a process developed over hundreds of years, each tailored by craftsmen, an art learned at the sides of their grandfathers. Sink into the comfort of quality seating and let luxurious opulence engulf you. You'd expect to pay $1,500 for a sofa of this quality. Not at RC Willey, and not during our month-long leather spectacular with over 35 styles on sale. RC Willey, one place, so many possibilities.
Neighborhood weather on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Sunburst Shutters.
Politics and Hollywood have worked together for years.
And now with the presidential election looming, stars are lining up to get involved.
Kate Maddox joins us with that story.
Yeah, every year it seems some stars really
yeah.
start the push. And we all remember how close the last presidential election was. And with that in mind, some recognizable faces are spreading the word, telling young people to make a difference in 2004.
I just say go vote, register and vote.
We've heard them before, celebrities who use their star power as a platform for personal political beliefs. But last night, some hot young Hollywood types put their strength behind Declare Yourself, a national, nonpartisan, nonprofit campaign.
Well, you know, I'm young and it's just starting for me, kind of getting political. I wasn't raised in a very political family, so I'm kind of doing it on my own. I try to read the newspaper more and be involved because it's my country and I want to be proud of my country.
The Hollywood Celebrates Democracy Party actually gave guests a chance to register to vote and to see an original copy of the Declaration of Independence. And in this election year, with the race about to heat up, people like Leonardo DiCaprio are on a mission.
And I'm going to endorse a candidate that I think is going to help our environment in the future.
Declare Yourself will also spread the word through college tours, election information, and online campaign, as well as a Get Out the Vote concert. This grassroots effort has some seriously influential stars behind it, and they hope to jumpstart a political movement.
Get out there and register, whatever your opinion is, whoever, you know, whether you lean a little to the left or you lean a little to the right, just get out there and vote and be a part of the process.
Good advice. For more information on the Declare Yourself movement and to find out what you need to do to get involved, just like the stars, log on to our website at KLASTV.com for a link to their website, which is actually it's a great website.
Get out and vote. That's a good message. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Kate. Kevin is here, and he's got a great message.
You know, we are truly living large. It's a nice evening out there. We'll start Seven Hills section of Henderson. They're at 55 degrees. Up to the northwest near Vegas and Pueblo Vista, they too are at 55. Lamb and Owens on the east side of town comes in at 58 and calm, 38% humidity. And in Pahrump right now at the high school, it's 48 degrees. Some other temperatures across the valley. It's 52 near Pecos and Warm Springs, 57 near Charleston and Torrey Pines, and 54 up near Fort Apache and Ann Road. Outside the valley, the mountains at 24. That's freezing the snow. Sandy Valley comes in at 53, while up in Pioche, they too have dipped below freezing. They're at 30 degrees. Some of the high temperatures from around the west today. Phoenix made it to 65, Salt Lake stopped at 41. But how about downtown LA? And this stuff is coming on in. They had a high temperature of 75 degrees. Not a tremendous amount of weather to talk about. We do have this batch of clouds that'll go through overnight. There's a little bit of moisture being detected by the radar, but that won't reach the ground, especially not when it gets into the valley. And actually, it's the first of several systems that will take the new route. Instead of coming right down into Southern California and Southern Nevada, these are going farther to the north, and they are lined up out here, but as they go farther to the north, all we're going to get will be the southern branch, the southern tail of these systems with a few high clouds here and there. Overnight forecast, 45 for the low temperature. We'll have several hours of high clouds during the late night, early morning hours. Tomorrow we'll start out with the high clouds. They'll be gone by afternoon. 66 the expected high, some neighborhoods up around 70. If your Thursday plans take you up to the mountain, look for a high of 38. Morning low of 17. Lots of snow up there. And your 7-day forecast now. We'll get the temperature up around 70 by Saturday. If not Saturday, you'll feel it on Sunday. And by the time we get to the mid portion of next week, we'll see a lot of neighborhoods up around 80 degrees, and we're not even talking the middle of March yet. Not trying to rush things, but that'll be feeling pretty good. All right, Chris, what's going on out there?
All right, Kevin, thank you. Lots of fun out here. The Nextel Cup drivers have arrived in Las Vegas, and there's no busy signal here. Yes, indeed. When we come back, we'll visit with a man who drives on the track and drives from the tee box. That's coming up next in sports.
Next entertainment tonight, whatever happened to the 58-pound anorexic? Why she landed in a hospital on a walker. Thousands of emails have poured in. Now, how Melissa's doing, how much weight she's gained, and the other anorexic she's helping. Then the latest on Siegfried and Roy as Roy takes his first steps. Plus, millions of you want it.
We are hours away from giving away the $1.2 million HGTV Dream Home.
And first came The Passion, now the new TV movie about Judas and Jesus.
I'm afraid.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Channel 8.
Want to sell me a car, John Barr? Wrestle my wife for the Intergender Wrestling Championship. Then we'll talk.
I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Okay, sweetheart, what happened? She didn't want to let on, but I knew she forgot to use her Flonase nasal spray, so I gave it to her straight. Flonase is all you want, and don't you forget it.
I'll remember.
Tonight, an old enemy. In 7th grade, he told everyone I licked a trash can.
Did you?
An embarrassing secret.
There's no shame in being a trash can licker.
A new king of queens. Then, Ray drops in on his new in-laws.
Point us to the room with the TV.
We don't TV. You're invited. Hit a radio.
Ray.
Everybody loves Raymond. Then follow the evidence.
Got silk?
A special Wednesday CSI.
We're into crime scenes.
Who doesn't know that?
Tonight at 10, 9 Central. Enjoy. Catch an all-new King of Queens, followed by Raymond and a special CSI tonight.
Desert does it again. Las Vegas, buckle up for the price of your life. Who you gonna call?
Call Desert!
It's Desert Honda's race for the record. Now through Monday, choose from our large selection of new 2004 Honda Civics, priced from just $139 a month. Get a $1,000 online shopping spree with any new car purchase.
Who you gonna call? Call Desert!
New 2004 Honda Civics from just $139 a month.
Okay, sweetheart, what happened? She didn't want to let on, but I knew she forgot to use her Flonase nasal spray, so I gave it to her straight. Flonase is all you want, and don't you forget it.
I'll remember.
Len Mills Gardening on Channel 8 is brought to you by Star Nursery, your gardening and sprinkler supply headquarters.
All right, welcome back to the Callaway Golf Center. Guess what? Speed Week has officially arrived right here in Las Vegas. All the Nextel Cup drivers have arrived. And speaking of drivers, here's one guy who can drive not only on the track but on the golf course. He can drive left, right, slice, hook. Here's Rusty Wallace. I guess you're quite an accomplished golfer, huh?
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm having a great time at it, though. We played 18 holes over at Bally High today. I'm over here at the Callaway Golf Center right now with about 1,500 Rusty fans. Man, I'm having a blast right now. A bunch of Miller Lite fans, a bunch of Callaway golf fans, and it's a good time. I'm here a little bit early. Practice doesn't start till Friday, but I'm having a great time today golfing. Going to relax tomorrow here in Vegas, and my wife and I, Patty, are going to hang out and get after it on Friday.
Where's the pressure, the tee box or the track?
I tell you, honestly, I pretty well think I understand the track. I've been doing it my whole life. The pressure was when I walked into the center and they said, hey, Rusty, go up there, and I want you to hit a long drive in front of all these fans, and let's see who can outrun you with the golf cart. And that was pressure right there, I'd say so. But I got it off the mat and got her gone.
Nice job on that. Let me ask you about the race here. What are some of the issues that fans are maybe expecting? I know tires will be an issue this year, right?
Oh, the fans are going to see the best race they've ever seen at Las Vegas this time because of the shorter spoiler, the softer tires. There's going to be more pit stops. There's going to be more passing. That dreaded arrow push you keep hearing about on the racetrack, I think a lot of that's going to go away. So get ready for a great 400 here in Vegas. I personally think it's going to be one of the best.
How about these young drivers are making a lot of noise lately?
They sure are, man. But you know what? There's nothing I can do about it except just drive hard and try to beat them all.
The new point system for a championship, do you like that?
I do. I don't know. I think I like it. I'm not for sure. I'll tell you what, if I'm not in the top 10, I'm not going to like it. Right.
Exactly. Let me ask you, is this sport ready to go international? Is it almost there? You were going to take some of these races overseas?
Well, I think the sport's ready to go international, but the problem we got right now is we're already running 36 races a year, and there's hardly no time for us to do anything else. Now, if they cut the races back to maybe 30 races, then maybe we can take 2 or 3 of them overseas. But I personally like racing here in the United States.
Quick last question. You got a new paint scheme on your car this week.
I do. I'm really excited about our new paint scheme. It goes back to all the different cars I've ran in the past. It's got my Miller January draft car. It's got my Miller Lite car. It's got a special paint scheme for this weekend. It's got Larry Dixon, the top field drag car, a champion, a good friend of mine, Don Perdome, all the Miller Lite drivers in a big 6-pack with different sizes of cans. So it's really exciting. We got a special paint scheme for this week.
All right, look forward to that number 2 car. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, man.
There he is, Rusty Wallace, getting set for the big race week. It all begins tonight here at Callaway. Rusty Wallace sign autographs. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, it wasn't your typical ribbon-cutting ceremony in Seattle as a new facility opened its doors. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
It's the most anticipated event in recent history. It's the grand opening of Planet Nissan in Centennial Hills. Don't miss this sale. Get a new Nissan Frontier for only $79.95 or a new Nissan Quest for only $99.95. These special prices have never been offered in Las Vegas. Planet Nissan will pay your first year's registration when you purchase any vehicle. It's all happening in the biggest grand opening sale in the world. Take US 95 North, exit and Road West to Planet Nissan.
Imagination. It's 2 parts vision and 2 parts knowledge. With it comes a revolutionary method of treating breast cancer, experimental procedures for those with heart disease, and high-tech gadgets to change the world of medicine. Imagination. It happens at major hospitals like Johns Hopkins and here, Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center. We're doing amazing things.
Hello, I'm Marcel, and this is the lounge at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Paradise Road. It's all here. Live jazz, televised sports, award-winning wine, and the best food in Las Vegas. Ruth's Chris Paradise is also Southern Nevada's #1 party destination. Our special events, staff, and facilities will turn an ordinary function into a fabulous affair, one you and your guests won't soon forget. Ruth's Chris truly is paradise. 15 years and still sizzling.
KLAS HDTV Primetime is brought to you in part by R.C. Willey, your high-definition headquarters.
This spring, come to Lowe's and give your ideas power. Lowe's has more brands of lawn tractors than anyone else in the country, and only Lowe's carries Troy-Bilt. The brand gardeners and landscapers have trusted for over 65 years. And Lowe's guarantees low prices every day. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Come visit the newest Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse, now open in Henderson.
You live in the great Southwest, so why not explore its rustic beauty? And you can go for it today, as near as Gibson Road. The Great Southwest has a fantastic collection of genuine handmade Southwestern furniture and accents, imported directly from our native craftsmen in Mexico. And no middleman means low, low prices. The Great Southwest. This is the way to live at 129 North Gibson, just off the 215 in Henderson.
Here's Dave Crevassier with a look at some of the stories we're working on for Eyewitness News at 11. Dave.
Thanks, Paula. Las Vegas is now ranking high on another list, not something to be proud of, though. Tonight, why our city is plagued with a soaring number of drug-related deaths. Plus, more and more local teenagers are being convicted of committing adult crimes. Question now is, are we failing our teens? Gary Waddell investigates tonight. Those stories and much more tonight on Eyewitness News at 11. Gary?
Indeed, I will. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dave. Instead of a ribbon cutting, a tissue ripping occurred in Seattle today. There were 5 new high-tech self-cleaning toilets opened for public use. Business owners at Pioneer Square have been lobbying for the ingenious toilets for a long time, but the advanced potties come with a big price tag. $6.6 million, we're told, to build them and maintain them for the next 10 years. The bathrooms give themselves a good scrubbing twice a day.
Do they remember to put the seat down?
Doesn't look like they even have seats on.
Didn't look like it.
That's it for Eyewitness News at 6. Entertainment Tonight's next.
See you at 11.
You told us breaking news is your top priority.
So when big stories hit home, Eyewitness News is on the scene.
Fast.
Good afternoon, everyone. Breaking news this noon.
It's in-depth coverage you won't find anywhere else.
It's clear. Nice news.
News that shows how the story matters to you and your community.
It looks like it is a hit and run.
It's not just news.
Not just news.
It's not just news.
It's not just news, it's eyewitness news. It's a Nevada crisis that's tearing families apart. An alarming number of juveniles committing serious crimes. Should they be sentenced as adults? How accountable are their parents?
My parents let me do whatever I want.
Failing our children? Tonight at 11 on Channel 8. Whenever big stories break, Eyewitness News is there.